Today I'm going to share with you the scariest thing I have ever done. It also is maybe the most un-American thing I have ever done. Now, I am an American. I am from mid-Missouri, from the heartland, and I'm 31, almost 32 years old. And if there's any American who was born in the 90s and raised in the 90s knows, rule number one of 90s kids that our parents told us: don't talk to strangers and don't take rides from strangers. The scariest thing I've ever done was take a ride home from a stranger in a foreign country on a motorcycle. I learned a lot the 1 year I lived in Israel. I learned that God provides, and I also learned that God guides us and that God protects us. So one night, I had just gotten to Israel. I'd been there for a week, and I did not know any Hebrew at all. I couldn't read Hebrew. I couldn't speak Hebrew. All I knew was shalom, which means peace and also is a greeting for hello. But that was literally all I knew. So one night, I am taking a bus home from a mixer for the graduate students in my program. I'm taking a bus ride home from central Tel Aviv, trying to get to my apartment in Givatayim, and I missed my bus stop. I got off my bus in a city called Bnei Brak, which is an Orthodox Jewish community. It was the middle of the night, and there wasn't really anyone walking around, and really none of the signs were in English, at least for the area that I was in. And if you go to Israel and you walk around central Tel Aviv, or you walk around central Jerusalem, there is a lot of English. There's a lot of English signage and a lot of English speakers, and this was not that situation, okay? So I get off my bus and I'm just kind of walking around Bnei Brak, and I didn't even know that I was in Bnei Brak. That's how disoriented I was. I'm just kind of wandering around trying to figure out where I'm going, and I'm texting my roommates. My phone was about to die, and I was just this is not good. What am I gonna do? So I had nothing, no ideas, no plans, no way to really orient myself, because there really wasn't any way around, and I could not read the signs. My roommates are texting me, and they're like, "What do the signs say?" And I'm like, "The signs are literally all in Hebrew. This is so insensitive. You guys know I can't read any of these signs." And then my phone dies. So I just prayed, and I said, "God, I ask that you would send me an angel to guide me home." And as I pray that, I hear a man say from behind me, "Hello, where are you trying to go?" So I turn around, and there is a man on a motorcycle. And I say, "I am trying to get to Givatayim." And he says, "That is a very, very long walk away, and the bus isn't coming back for hours because it was very late at night, and the bus schedule slows down late at night." And he's like, "That is a very far, far walk. You should let me take you home." And I was like, "No. I said, "Goodbye, thank you." I walked away. Because again, rule number one growing up in America in the 90s, do not talk to strangers, do not take rides from strangers, do not take candy from strangers. Everything was stranger danger when I was a kid. So I walk away, and I'm walking, and I'm walking, and I'm walking, I'm wandering, and I pray again, "God, please send me an angel to guide me home." And I hear his voice again. "Please, why won't you let me take you home?" And I'm like, "No, go away. I'm not letting you take me anywhere." goodbye. So he leaves, I leave. I'm walking for, it felt like forever. And I'm walking, and I get to the end of this, dark street, and there is the man waiting for me at the end of this street. So he calls me over to him. He's like, come here. And I'm just like, I'm like, Mom, okay. I just like walk over. And he goes, why won't you let me take you home? And I was like, because I don't know you. Just like very like on the verge of tears. I was like, I don't know you. I don't even know you. And he reaches into the storage on the back of his motorcycle and he hands me a helmet. And he says, don't be afraid. And I just put it on, climbed onto the back of this man's motorcycle, and he drove me straight to my apartment. Don't get me wrong, I was clutching onto his shoulders for dear life, because I was like, if anything crazy or unexpected happens, if I don't start to like recognize where I am real soon, we are both going down. But nothing happened. He just pulled me up, straight to my apartment building. He said, he just pulled me out straight to my apartment building. I got off the motorcycle. I handed him the helmet, and he said, enjoy your time in Israel. And then he just drove off into the night. I was shaking. When I tell you I was shaking, I could not sleep because I was like, I was shaking. I was so nervous. I was not nervous, doesn't describe it. I was terrified. So what I didn't know is that in Israel, it actually isn't strange to hitchhike. And in Israel, it actually isn't strange to offer a stranger a ride. Again, Israel is very friendly to immigrants. And that experience of being new to a country and struggling to integrate into a new country is something, it's kind of a shared Israeli experience, or it's something that Israeli society can just kind of identify with. So it actually is not strange if you are walking around and you look confused, or if you're walking around and look like you don't really know where you're going. It isn't strange for someone to stop you and be like, hey, you look lost. Or it isn't strange for someone to pull over and be like, hey, you look lost. Can I help you? Can I just give you a ride to where you're going? That is not weird at all. But at the time, I did not know that. I know that now. But, sometimes we are expecting God to guide us in, I don't know, just sometimes the way God guides us looks different than what we're expecting, I was expecting, I don't know, like a flashing light, like a street lamp to be like, God's way of telling me like, Destiny, this is the way to home, or, whatever. And it, in this case, my messenger, in this case, my, angel to guide me home was, random Israeli man on a motorcycle. The Bible says that God directs our steps, that he delights in every detail of our lives. And that is how God directed my steps that night. Random Israeli man on a motorcycle. And what did he say? And most of the time in the Bible, when angels greet people, what do they say? They say, don't be afraid. And that's what he told me, don't be afraid. Still, I did not tell my mom this story until I had moved back to America. Seriously, craziest thing I've ever done. I couldn't fall asleep. I was shaking. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and I want to hear what your thoughts. Have you ever hitchhiked before? Tell me in the comments. Share this video with someone who, might get a kick out of it, and tell me what you think. I'll see you guys later. Bye.